بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله حمدا كثيرا طيبا مباركا فيه وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد إخواني وأخواتي في العقيدة السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Here we are again in our Saturday lectures, and our topic tonight would be fair relationship. Before we even talk about the rights and the obligations toward one another, whether the rights of a husband toward his wife or a husband or a wife toward her husband, before we even start that, inshallah, my plan is to cover a little bit of fair or the mutual rights or mutual understandings of marriage. As we all know, marriage is a bond held together by mutual responsibility and understanding for both parties, two spouses. It is also a partnership. When you get into a marriage, you are in a partnership. So you need to understand that it comes with mutual responsibilities. Man is appointed in Islam as a leader of the household. He will be the leader of the household. So there is many areas that he will hold responsibility. As well as woman would be his supportive helper, and she has her own responsibilities. In Western world, you hear a lot that it's a one-way highway in Islam, but actually in Islam there is mutual understanding and mutual responsibilities. And you can't say if someone is doing a job at your roof, for instance, if someone is fixing your roof, it doesn't mean that he's better than you. As well as if someone is fixing the plumbing work of your toilet, he's the plumber, it does not mean he's below you. He's just there to do a job. So in Islam, we need to understand is a mutual responsibility and mutual understanding in marriage. So it comes with that shared obligations and shared rewards. Also, actions. I want to clarify, responsibility and obligations are equally applied to a man and woman in Islam. So woman has to pray, man has to pray. As well as woman is responsible, certain things, man is responsible, and you will be questioning your responsibilities. Islam puts you accountable for your actions, man, woman, equally. To worship Allah Azza wa Jal equally, to call to Allah Azza wa Jal equally. So all of us are equal in the responsibilities toward Allah Azza wa Jal. That's why Allah says in Surah Al-Nahl, مَنْ عَمِلَ صَالِحًا مِنْ ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنْثَى وَهُوَ مُؤْمِنٌ فَلَنُحْيِيَنَّهُ حَيَاةً طَيِّبَةً وَلَنَجْزِيَنَّهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. So here you see they are equal. Whoever does right deeds, whether they are male or a female, while you are a believer, we will surely grant him in a good life, and will surely give them their reward according to the best of what they used to do. So at the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal will reward you equally. And in this world, Allah Azza wa Jal promised a good life for male and female who obeys Allah Azza wa Jal and does good deeds. So I don't see where in Islam man is better than woman. Another ayah, Allah Azza wa Jal says, فَاسْتَجَابَ لَهُمْ رَبُّهُمْ أَنِّي لَا أُضِيعُ عَمَلَ عَامِلٍ مِّنكُمْ مِّن ذَكَرٍ أَوْ أُنثَىٰ. Their Lord responded to them, saying, Verily, I will not let the deeds of any worker among you go to waste. Yani anyone among you who does good deeds will not go to waste, whether they are male or female. So specifically Allah Azza wa Jal says, it doesn't matter what gender you are from, I will accept and I will reward, and it will never be waste. So what we need to do in marriage is to be equally important and equally fair to one another. Allah Azza wa Jalla says another ayah, وَلَا تَتَمَنَّوْا مَا فَضَّلَ اللَّهُ بِهِ بَعْضَكُمْ عَلَى بَعْضٍ لِلرِّجَالِ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا اكْتَسَبُوا وَلِلنِّسَاءِ نَصِيبٌ مِّمَّا اكْتَسَبْنَا وَاسْأَلُوا اللَّهَ مِنْ فَضْلِهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ كَانَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمًا. Don't wish for the things in which Allah has preferred some of you over the other. Man gets a share in reward, in what they have earned, and woman gets a share in what they earn. So man gets his share and woman gets his share. You see in these ayat fairness and equality. So one should treat his wife equally. One should respect in return his wife equally. Man and woman should treat one another and be responsible in marriage equally. There is definitely natural differences. Yani, we all have natural differences. If you, by the way, if you have a computer, you can go imamka.com and watch the lecture live, as some of you already are online. Please invite as many people as you can, especially to the youth, especially the young couples who get married. This lecture will be very beneficial. Please invite everybody that you know tonight, specifically in the coming nights, because this will be, we will cover subjects that usually nobody covers them. So if you have computer, go imamka.com. If you want to listen and you are on the line, you're more than welcome. At the end, we will take your questions. Having said that we're all equal in the eyes of Allah Azza wa Jalla and all of that, but there is natural differences. Man should understand and women should understand. There is many things that Allah Azza wa Jalla strictly applies to women because of their feminine nature. And there is many things Allah Azza wa Jalla strictly applies to men because of their masculine nature or being a tough. You know, and I covered that last time when I was talking about the hadith that talks about naqsat al-aqli wa din. I clarify, I forgot to mention how Allah created us. The way we even assess situations are different by nature. Some are emotional and some are rational. Usually women are emotional based and man is more rational based. I'll give you an example. There is natural differences. If woman sees a nice car, they will say, oh, mashallah, is a beautiful car. They always talk about the beauty of the car, the color of the car, the look of the car, the coolness of the car. But when man looks at the car, they don't talk about the beauty of the car usually. They talk about the engine of the car, the tires of the car, the wheels of the car, and what have you. So you will see man will be busy in the details inside the car. Women are busy with the look outside the car. Women usually go by the look and men usually go by the details. So that's how Allah Azza wa Jal created us. Some of us use the left side of the brain. Some of us use the right side of the brain. So male and female are always different. But in Hadith, Prophet ﷺ, the last speech he gave, Hajjatul Wada', the farewell pilgrimage he gave, beautiful statements he made. Ala wastawsu bin nisa'i khayra. That long hadith, at the end he said, Ala inna lakum ala nisa'ikum haqqa, wa li nisa'ikum alaykum haqqa. Look at this beautiful hadith. You have rights upon your wives, and they have rights upon you. Yani, both of you should take care one another. فَأَمَّا حَقُّكُمْ عَلَى نِسَائِكُمْ. The rights that you have upon your wives, that they should not let enter anyone who you dislike, whether to sit in your bed or even to your house. So women should not let anyone to come to the house without the permission of her husband. And the rights that they have upon you as a man is to take care of them and take care of the bills, basically. Be responsible and go to work and take care of your wife and feed them and clothe them and what have you. So in that beautiful hadith, Prophet ﷺ made the rights both ways. He said, take care of your wife, and women, when your husband is out there to take care of you, take care of your house and your chastity and what have you. Responsibility and accountability also are equal. Rasulullah ﷺ said in hadith that كل نفس من بني آدم سيد. يعني every person among the sons of Adam, the children of Adam, are master. Every one of us is a master. And then he said, فَالرَّجُلُ سَيِّدْ أَهْلِهِ وَالْمَرْأَةُ سَيِّدَةُ بَيْتِهَا. Look at this beautiful hadith. The man is the master of his family at all, and the woman is the mistress of her home. Yani, she is responsible at home. She is the queen of the home, and he is the leader of the house. Another hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ said, كُلُّكُمْ رَاعٍ وَكُلُّكُمْ مَسْئُولٌ عَنْ رَعِيَّتِهِ. فَالْإِمَامُ رَاعٍ. Everyone is responsible and he will be questioned his responsibility. Then he talked about the responsibility of the imam. Then he talked about the man. وَالرَّجُلُ رَاعٍ فِي أَهْلِهِ. The man is responsible for his family and he will be questioned his responsibility. The wife is responsible inside the house and she will be questioned her responsibility. The servant is responsible and he will be questioned his responsibility. That beautiful hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ talked about the responsibility is equal. Everyone should be responsible of some things. So we're talking about mutual responsibilities in marriage. So as much as the woman needs to protect the marriage, the brother, the husband needs to take care, and as much as the wife should take care of that responsibility, the husband must take care of it. So a couple of things are advice that I will share with you tonight. Both of them should use the best manners, should deal with each other in excellence of manners. So when I talk about manners, usually people think smile, truthfulness, kindness, and all that. I'm talking about more than that. And those are the things that I will cover. So when you talk about manners, your manners, where they come from the Qur'an. So you should live upon the Qur'an and the Sunnah. Allah Azza wa Jal praised His Messenger, and He said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Indeed, you are of a great moral character. Some scholars, they explain and they say, look at the word Allah Azza wa Jal, how He even said. He said, لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. Yani you are above. Yani you are like maybe the highest quality of khuluq. Anyone, yani you are full of manners. Exactly, you live off like the Quran, Rasulullah revealed him. That's how you live off. Yani you are full of manners the way the Quran was revealed to you. So you go by the book, yani. That's your manners. Rasulullah another hadith, he said, "Inna min khiyarikum ahsanukum akhlaqa." Yani indeed among the best of you are those with the best manners. So if you want to judge someone and to see if he is the best, judge his personality, judge his manners, judge how he talks, how he behaves, how he deals with his wife. Another hadith, Rasulullah said, أَفْضَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ أَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا. The best of the believers are those with the best manners. If you see a brother that's charming, smiling, happy always, kind to the others, these are the qualities of a good believer. Even at the day of judgment, you are closer to Rasulullah, the closer of manners you are. إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنَ لَيُدْرَكُ بِحُسْنِ خُلُقِهِ. And Rasulullah says, indeed the believer attains in Jannah because of his good manners, the level of one who fasts and stands for the night. Yani you can reach the highest level of the one who's fasting and praying at night by being just good manners, by having these good manners. Or you could even be the highest in Jannah by being the best of the manners, to act the best. Rasulullah said, "Inna min ahabbikum ilayya wa aghrabakum minni majlisan yawm al-qiyamah ahasinakum akhlaqa." Ya Allah, indeed those among you who are the most beloved to me, yani the ones I love the most, and who will be seated close to me, nearest to me in Jannah at the day of judgment, are those with the best manners. If you want to be too close to Rasulullah at the day of judgment, if you want to be the one that Prophet loves him the most, then have that good manners. Abu Hurairah narrated another hadith that Rasulullah says, أكثر من يدخل الناس الجنة تقوى الله وحسن الخلق وأكثر من يدخل الناس النار الفم والفرج. The thing that mainly causes people to enter Jannah, the most thing that takes people to Jannah or lead people to Jannah or earn taqwa Allah Azza wa close to Jannah is having taqwa Allah and having good manners. And the most that can lead you to hellfire is your mouth and your private parts, as Prophet ﷺ said. Give me a second, I will turn an alarm off. Rasulullah ﷺ taught us, Ya Ikhwan, the thing that will take us to Jannah is taqwa Allah and husn al-khuluq. So we should be the best of the manners all the time. And best people to deal with good manners is your family. So deal with your husband with the best manner and deal with your wife with the best manner. Rasulullah says, أَكْمَلُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِيمَانًا أَحْسَنُهُمْ خُلُقًا وَخِيَارُكُمْ خِيَارُكُمْ لِنِسَائِهِمْ. The believer with the most complete iman, that attain the highest iman, are those with the most manners. And the best among you are those who are best to their wives. So if your wife says you're a good man, you are a good man. That's exactly what Prophet ﷺ says. If your wife admits that you have good manners, then you are indeed a good person. So best of the manners is to be truthful to one another. Marriage has to have truthfulness. Yani everyone should be very truthful to one another. And truthfulness is what will lead us ultimately our purpose of life, which is to worship Allah Azza wa Jal and to be so He could be pleased with us and enter Jannah. Rasulullah said, "Inna as-sidqa yahdi ila al-birr, wa inna al-birra yahdi ila al-jannah, wa inna al-rajul ya Allah, wa inna al-rajul يعني إن الصدق يهدي إلى البر." أولا, صدق, truthfulness leads to do nothing but to be righteousness, and the righteousness is what leads us to enter Jannah. Indeed, a man who will continue to practice and pursue truthfulness until he is recorded in the eyes of Allah as Siddiq. One will be so truthful till Allah writes in his side that he is truthful. Same way, vice versa. Lying leads nothing but to immorality. Immorality always leads people to fire. Indeed, one would continue practicing lying and pursue lying till he is recorded in the eyes of Allah a liar. وَنَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ. So truthfulness is what brings trust. When you're honest with your wife and you're truthful with your wife or your husband, this will build a trust and confidence between two spouses, two husband and wife. Now there is saying out there that people always use, you can lie to your wife and if you want to keep your marriage, but we misunderstood that. Rasulullah ﷺ, he said, لا أعده كذبا الرجل يصلح بين الناس يقول القول لا يريد به إلا الإصلاح والرجل يقول في الحرب حرب والرجل يحدث امرأته والمرأة تحدث زوجها. I don't consider him lying, a man who tried to solve two people's problems. Yani he makes statements that other person made, nothing but to reconciliate between them. And I don't also consider lying, false statement, to one who says something to the enemy during a war, he said. And a man who chats with his wife, yani he makes statements, or a woman who chats with her husband. Another hadith, Rasulullah says, hadith Asma bint Yazid, لا يصلح الكذب إلا في ثلاث. يعني a lie, lying is not appropriate except in three situations. When a man chats with his wife to please her, the purpose is to please her. Like you say, you look good, or your food is so nice, and today you dress so nice. And even the food may not be good. You just say to your wife, oh, your food is so nice today. It's so delicious today. Or you look so good today. She may not look good that day, but you just say, these are what Rasulullah meant. He did not mean to go ahead and lie to your wife. So that's the misunderstanding that people have. The purpose of that is the married, yani statement that carry double meanings. It means to achieve something good. You lie to the enemy at war so you can save yourself. You lie to people so you can solve their problem. So the purpose is ultimately to solve something. Or you know you're in trouble with your wife or your husband, you make statements so you don't get in trouble. That's what it meant. It doesn't mean that always lie to your husband or your wife. Both parties should be humble. So there should not be arrogancy in marriage. Man always showing arrogance. Nobody can talk to him. Nobody can say anything to him. That's not Islam. Rasulullah says, Hadith Iyad, Inna Allah awha ilayya. Allah Azza wa Jal indeed revealed to me that you must show humbleness. And tawada'u. You must show humbleness. So that none among you would boast over anyone else. None among you would transgress against one another. If we're not humble, we will be transgressed against each other. So you're not allowed to show your wife you're more intelligent than her, to show her or call her names, or show her, put her family down, or call her that she is dumb or she doesn't know anything. These statements of arrogancy is not allowed in marriage. Also, best manners are to be kind, to be merciful to one another. الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن ارحموا من في الأرض يرحمكم من في السماء. And look, the best example, Rasulullah ﷺ used to be so kind that Aisha will say, "Warasa, yani my head hurts." She will hold her head and she say her head. She'll say, oh warasa, and he will put his hands on his head and say warasa, yani my head hurts too, making it up, showing her that he cares. If she is in pain, he is in pain too. So both parties should be kind to one another. And even he said in Hadith Aisha, Inna Allah rafiqun yuhibbu rifqa fil amri kulli. Allah Azza wa Jalla indeed is kind and loves kindness in all affairs. And yani whatever you cannot gain in kindness, you cannot gain in any other way. So yani try your best to always be kind. The person who is not kind, the person who is not merciful, he is not harming anyone but himself. Based on Hadith Jarir bin Abdullah, Rasulullah said, "Man yuhram al-rifq, yuhram al-khayr kulluh." Man yuhram al-rifq, yuhram al-rifq, yuhram al-khayr kulluh. Which means, he who is denied kindness has indeed been denied all forms of goodness. And if you're not kind, you're not good in any way. Another hadith, "Man la yarham, la yurham." He who does not show mercy, no mercy will be shown to him by Allah. And if you're not mercy to people, if you're not kind to people, Allah will not be kind to you. Best people you could be kind to is to your family, your children, your wife. And you know, it bothers me a lot, wallahi brothers, that we show kindness to everybody outside. And when we come home, we're rude. We yell at them. We scream on them. We do, you know, what happened to us? We were laughing. Right outside, we show that we're good people. And when you come home, here he is, the brother, acting bossy, screaming and fighting always. Another good manner that both parties should deal with one another is forgiveness. You know, instead of being revengeful society, getting even, and you do something, she does something. And to a level they made a joke. Husband and wife were playing a game of silence, for days. They were not talking to each other. So the husband at night time, he write a letter. He has a flight at 5 in the morning. So he writes a letter and he says, "Please wake me up at 5. I have a flight." So when it was 5, when he get the time 5 o'clock, she write a letter saying, little note saying, you know, "Please wake up or you're going to miss your flight," or something. The brother wakes up, he's going to miss his flight. So he asks her and he says to her, "Didn't I tell you wake me up at 5? She said, "Well, you write it down for me, a note that's saying wake me up. I wrote you a note and I told you wake up." You see how bad the society is getting? So we should not be revengeful. We should be forgiving one another. "Man la yarham," another hadith, "la yurham. Wa man la yaghfir, la yughfar lah." Yani who does not show mercy, no mercy will be shown. Same way, if you don't show, if you're not forgiven person, then Allah will not forgive you. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Aisha says, "I never saw Allah's messenger seeking revenge when he was wrong. Anyone who wronged him, he never seek revenge, except when Allah Azza wa Jal prohibition was overstepped. Yani if something bad said about Islam, then he would be upset. But he will be always kind and forgiving. Avoid oppression. Yani it's haram. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hadith Quds, that he said, Allah Azza wa Jal said, "Ya ibadi, inni harramtu dhulma ala nafsi wa ja'altuhu baynakum muharraman fala tadhalam." You know the other hadith, "Ittaqu dhulm fa inna dhulma dhulumat yawm al-qiyamah." So we know all the hadith against doing transgressing against one another is not allowed. Even Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, beautiful hadith, "Man kanat li akhihi indahu madlamatun min 'irdin aw malin falyatahallalhu al-yawm qabla an yukhadha minhu yawm la dinar wa la dirham." Yani whoever has oppressed his brother in regard to his honor or property should beg for his forgiveness today, before a day will come that he will be taking everything good that he does. No dinar and no dirham, but hasanat. So your day will come, you will lose all your hasanat, or you may be dumped many sayyi'at. Another thing that I would like to cover, manners of marriage, mutual responsibilities and mutual rights and mutual respect, is avoiding bad language, calling each other a name. And some families do that. You'll see a husband calling his wife bad names, or a wife that calling her husband names. So we should avoid vulgar language. Someone to be called fatty, short, dummy, or whatever other names that people use to put people down. We should avoid that. In Islam, Rasulullah said, Hadith Aisha, Inna Allah la yuhibbul fahish al-mutafahish. Allah does not love a veiled person or the person with obscenities. Rasulullah says he was not obscene person, nor did he relish obscenity, nor was he loud in the markets. Rasulullah was not loud in the markets. You know what this hadith means? The brothers who will go to have a cup of coffee for the malls and talk too loud, that's not a good quality. We should go to the masajids and read Qur'an, not to go visit the malls. Someone will dress just to go to the mall so he could be allowed. Rasulullah, he used to not be sakhaban fil aswaq, but he was merciful, he was forgiving, and he was a person who will forgive everyone. Also avoid arguing, jidal. Usually families do that. Husband argues with his wife, and you know what? You're not gonna win. Don't even try. If you try to argue with your wife, you will never win. She will always win. So don't even do that, arguing with your wife. أنا زعيم ببيت في ربط الجنة لمن ترك المراء وإن كان محقا. Rasulullah says, I am a grantor. I will guarantee you a house in Jannah if you stay away from arguing, even if you are right. Even if you are right, stay away. I will promise you Jannah. أبغض الرجال إلى الله ألد الخصام. The most hated man to Allah is the one who is always quarrelsome, always arguing. They never stop. And the healing or how to solve arguments is not arguing, actually. Solution to the arguing is to explain, and that's it. Just explain yourself and fix the problem before it gets argument. A lot of times we don't solve problems right away. We wait them. So when your husband does something you don't like, wait a good time. Don't wait when he comes to sleep, or wait when he comes to eat, or don't talk to him when he's tired, or don't talk to him when he just arrived home. Wait, right time, and talk to him. Maybe a time that he's happy, and explain to him in a nicer way. And don't order him, but give him scenarios indirectly so he understands. But if we always write it down, everything everybody does, and we keep them in our mind and always talk about it, always bring it up, and it never ends. إن الجبال من الحصى. The mountains are made out of small stones. Bunch of small stones got together, they become huge mountains. So don't let them pile up till they get mountains. Solve the problem right then. Don't wait tomorrow. And solve it in a manner way, like I explained to you. Wait it that the right time, both parties. Communication is a key then. We talked about solving problems, so communication is very important. We should have a good level of communication and understanding. Like we share each other our happiness, we should share each other our sadness, our concerns, our sorrows. And you're not allowed to discontinue that. Even though Allah Azza wa Jal sets and gives permission, certain time you can desert the bed of rebellious wife, you can stay away from her, but that should not be something that you should practice all the time. You should find a way to solve problems. ولهذا الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم told us لا يحل لمسلم أن يهجر أخاه فوق 3 ليالي يلتقيان فيعرض هذا ويعرض هذا وخيرهما الذي يبدأ بالسلام. It's not permissible for a Muslim to abandon his brother or sister more than 3 days. You meet, you turn against each other. Best among you is the one who initiates the salam. Another hadith, Rasulullah says, even if you say salam to him and he does not respond to you, رَدَّ عَلَيْهِ مَلَكٌ. An angel will respond to you and say salam to you, and he will have a shaitan responding to his silence. So yes, always be the good one. Another, even that hadith, Rasulullah says, if they both die in that status, they will not enter Jannah jami'an abada. Both of them will not enter Jannah. So avoid that. Avoid that. Cutting relationship and being quiet. Months, you will find husband and wife did not talk to each other for months. What kind of deal is that, We should also aid one another, help one another, support one another. Only good things. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى وَلَا تَعَاوَنُوا عَلى الْإِثْمِ وَالْعُدْوَانِ. We're not talking about bad. but to help on the righteousness, the taqwa, and aid one another. لا طاعة لبشر في معصية الله إنما الطاعة في المعروف. Rasulullah said obedience may not be offered to a human being if it involves disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal. لا طاعة لمخلوق في معصية الخالق. Only obedience should only be in good things. So you should listen to your husband. So aiding one another to fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Rasulullah told us beautiful hadith of Abu Hurairah, رحم الله رجلا قام من الليل فصلى وأيقظ امرأته فصلت فإن أبد نضح في وجهها الماء. Same for a woman. May Allah have a mercy on a man who wakes up at night and pray. And he woke up his wife also to pray. And if she resists, he will spray some water on her face. It doesn't mean get a bucket of water, and some people do that. You know, they misunderstand the hadith. Just to spray a little water. So aiding your wife to do right things, or your husband, is what we should always do. Safeguard the family from hell. It is our responsibility. يا أيها الذين آمنوا قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا. Ibn Abbas, he says, by teaching them good, I'm telling them what's forbidding, teaching them Islam, guiding them what's good. That's what it means. قوا أنفسكم وأهليكم نارا. Enjoying good and forbidding evil. والمؤمنون والمؤمنات بعضهم أولياء بعض يأمرون بالمعروف وينهون عن المنكر. They aid one another to enjoy good and forbid evil. And last but not least, fulfill one another's desire. Try to please your wife. Ibn Abbas used to dress before he leaves the masjid, and he used to charm himself and look good. And they used to say, you're going home. And he says, as much as I like her to look good, I want to look good. Both parties should always please one another. Do everything that your husband wants you to do as long as it's not haram. Do whatever your wife likes as long as haram. Learn her. Learn what she likes. That's our problem. Our problem is many people in America have that issue. And believe me, as a family counselor, many marriages are collapsing because of that. Nobody is giving each other desires that Allah Azza wa Jal create with us. So we should please one another. Anytime your husband needs you, we talked about that last chapter. Even if you are on the top of a camel, you should obey. Even if you're cooking food, you should, please your husband. Same way, if your wife needs you, fulfill her desire. And I will inshallah end it there. Inshallah, next lecture we will cover the husband's obligations or the rights toward the rights that he has to fulfill toward his wife, and the one after that would be toward her husband. Jazakumullah alfa khair. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept us. I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to reward you, and I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make us people who understand the responsibilities and mutual understandings of marriage of one another, inshallah ta'ala. This is the brief of the topic of tonight, and I will inshallah cover a few minutes regarding everyday Muslim, and you can stop the recording so I can switch in Somali. Bismillah.